Heroes and legends are born in the dust and noise of bull riding arenas, where each second spent on the back of a beast can feel like an eternity. Imagine a cowboy, a ferocious bull, and a challenge that's been around since the Wild West days. That's where today's story takes us. And right in the middle of it all was Mason Lowe, who grew up in a place where riding bulls was as normal as playing baseball. Mason's goal was not only to survive those insane 8 seconds, but also to become a freaking legend. From a kid with big dreams on a farm in Missouri to lighting up the biggest arenas, he was all about the thrill, the cheers, and the adrenaline rush of the ride. But for Mason, a Tuesday night in Denver resulted in a tragedy that nobody saw coming. Let's step into the arena to find out what went down during those intense last moments of this legendary cowboy's final outing. Early life. Mason Lowe's story begins on a small Missouri farm. That's when he first fell in love with bull riding. Mason's dreams began to take shape in this rural setting, surrounded by fields and fences. Even as a kid, his family could see his passion shining through. His eyes would light up whenever he got close to those bulls. His dad, who used to be into rodeos himself, always said Mason could ride bulls before he could even walk. From wobbly steps on a baby calf to fearlessly facing junior bulls, Mason's life was something special. Even as a little boy, he had an insane level of determination. No matter how many times he got knocked down, he'd always get right back up, dust himself off, and give it another shot. As our hero grew older, he decided to fully commit to the more challenging amateur tours, rather than continuing with high school rodeos. It was a bold move for a young rider, but it showed that Mason wasn't afraid of a challenge. The bigger the bull, the bigger his smile. We all knew Mason had unlimited potential. Every time he hopped on a bull, it turned out to be a crazy show. Mason was paving the way for his future glory in those early days of exciting rides, but who knew that this journey would lead to a moment that would fill people's hearts with a void? Riding style. Bull riding was one of Mason Lowe's specialties. He did some breathtaking stunts and showed off his great skill at controlling the bull. However, it is important to remember that Mason's success did not solely rely on his physical strength to maintain his grip on the bull. If you want to truly understand Mason Lowe's philosophy as a bull rider, you have to look into the tricks and abilities he possessed. Mason wasn't a regular rider. He was a total boss in the arena, a cowboy who knew the secret language of balance, timing, and hard work. His strategy was premeditated and natural when it came to the man versus bull confrontation. His grip technique was out of this world, not just holding on with brute strength, but with a touch that let him flow with the bull's wild moves. Check out how Mason adjusts his center of gravity, shifting his weight to match the bull's every move. That's not just skill, that's an art, acquired through countless hours of practice and a deep understanding of the beast he was riding. Mason's mental game was just as strong as his physical one. He studied bulls like a scholar, learning everything about their habits, strengths, and strange behaviors. Before each ride, he visualized his strategy, going through every move in his head with precision and calm. Mason was also hyper-focused. He could block out everything, the crowd, the noise, the pressure, and just connect with the ride. His rides were a pure display of commitment. Each 8-second battle was a proof of his relentless training, his firm confidence, and his respect for the powerful animals he rode. The Devil's Day. On January 15, 2019, the National Western Stock Show in Denver, Colorado, started off like any other day. However, nobody realized that this day would be remembered for a very tragic purpose. The atmosphere was charged with excitement. Fans of rodeo were crammed into the stands, all sporting cowboy hats, and excitedly anticipating some amazing bravery and skills. The cowboys were getting ready in the middle of the mayhem, and their faces were displaying extreme nervousness. And right in the middle of it all was Mason Lowe. On that tragic day, he seemed pretty chill and composed, but you could tell there was a fire burning inside him. He knew the risks, so every time he stepped into the arena, he was ready to face danger head-on, using every bit of his skill. One of Mason's friends said, "I clearly remember watching Mason that morning. He seemed super focused, like he was about to do something great." The bull Mason was assigned to that day was Hard Times, a massive beast known for its insane strength and unpredictable behavior. The bull was more than just a challenge. It was a natural force that pushed riders to the limit. The excitement in the crowd increased dramatically as the event progressed. Each rider's attempt was a heart-stopping show that set the stage for what was about to happen. The announcer's voice boomed through the speakers. It was time. Mason approached the bull with confidence, his mind probably racing with tactics and resilience. The crowd fell still as he settled onto the bull, gripping the rope like a pro. The gate operator gave him a nod, a secret signal only rodeo folks understood. Hard Times charged into the arena with a powerful explosion, while Mason clung to the bull as it pulled up. The audience went insane. Mason demonstrated his focus by moving with the bull. Every second was a reminder of the battle between man and beast. For those 8 seconds, it felt like time stood still. Mason and Hard Times were locked in a fierce battle, showing the unending threat of the sport. However, in an unfortunate turn of events, the impossible happened as the ride's buzzer sounded, announcing its end. Mason was knocked off balance as the bull's enormous body collapsed, causing an arc that was deadly. In an instant, the cheers turned into tears of horror. Mason, the cowboy who fearlessly danced with danger, was lying silently in the dirt. The bright arena, buzzing with excitement, was now silent and stunned. That day at the National Western Stock Show, a day that started with hopes of rodeo triumph, ended in a heartbreaking tragedy. The world of bull riding had to face its most painful truth. The beloved sport came at a price that was just too high. Aftermath. After that terrible accident, everything just froze at the National Western Stock Show arena. Mason was lying there, not moving, and it felt like time stood still. But then the rodeo's medical team jumped into action. They knew exactly what to do. Meanwhile, the crowd watched in complete silence as the medical team worked their magic. You could feel the seriousness of the situation hanging in the air. They made sure to immobilize Mason, just in case he had any spinal injuries. When the ambulance left the arena with its siren blaring, the whole place just felt heavy. The sport, which is usually all about excitement and thrills, has shown its dark side. Inside the hospital, a different kind of battle was going on. The doctors and nurses were working their butts off, showing just how serious Mason's injuries were. But no matter how skilled they were, the situation was really bad. Bull riding injuries are no joke. Those hooves pack a serious punch and can cause some serious internal damage. We did everything we could for Mason, but it was tough. Back at the stock show, the event went on, but it was different. The joy and excitement were replaced with worry. Mason's condition became known, and the rodeo community felt the impact of the tragedy. As the night went on, everyone's thoughts and prayers were with Mason and his family. It was a harsh reminder of how dangerous this sport can be, and how every rider is just one step away from danger. In the days that followed, the rodeo community came together to support Mason. They held vigils, shared stories, and held on to their memories of him. Mason Lowe, a true cowboy who lived for the ride, will always be remembered, and his legacy will last forever. Legacy. After Mason Lowe's tragic passing, the world of bull riding was forced to take a hard look at itself. We all felt the impact of his fearless spirit, and it sparked a change in how the riders approached safety methods. Mason's accident was a wake-up call for all of us. The bull riding community started implementing better safety measures. They upgraded their protective gear and improved their medical protocols. But Mason's legacy goes beyond safety reforms. Those who knew him still carry him in their hearts as a symbol of passion. His story inspires young riders, reminding them to love the sport and respect its dangers. Mason Lowe was a hero to many of us. The sport's core value is reflected in his journey, which reminds us of the thin line between joy and sorrow. When we recall Mason, we think of the daring, spirit, and sheer determination that define bull riding. His legacy isn't only about the rides he finished or the scores he achieved. It's about his strong spirit, which continues to inspire riders and his fans. Mason Lowe's memory lives on in the silence of the arena, where cheers once rang out. In the heart of every cowboy facing the bull, and in every cheer from the fans, his spirit lives on as a timeless symbol of the rodeo's constant fascination and strong challenge.